Hello there, my name's Annette with Sunbeam Fabric Art. Welcome to my channel. I'll leave links in the description for all these videos, but I got a 42 fat quarter bundle for Christmas and I sliced it up. What I have left is about 42 layer cake size pieces, 10 inches by 10 inches. After counting these 10-inch squares that I cut myself, I realized I only had 41. To make the quilt I want to make, I need one more, so I went to my stash of extra layer cake pieces and I found this cute rabbit fabric that the color seemed to fit in with what I had. The problem is it's a pre-cut from a company. It's not exactly 10 inches, it's more like 9 3/4. That'll come into play later on. Taking a look at these fabrics in black and white, you can see there's no truly light lights and no really dark darks. They're all kind of middle of the road tones. And I thought that matching up some black fabric with these would really set them off. I saw a quilt on Missouri Star's website, a tutorial for a pixie stick type quilt. I've always wanted to make that quilt and I don't know why I haven't yet. Theirs was made with chart packs, and I thought, well, I could do this with 10-inch squares. You can use lines on your cutting mat or whatever ruler you want to use to cut your 1-inch strips. I'm making sure my top fold and my bottom fold are parallel, and then I'm going to be using my Stripology XL ruler to cut my 1-inch strips. I'm taking these first few cuts at real time, and you can see how slowly I actually use this ruler. It would be so easy to get your thumb or your finger right over the cut line, but you do want to hold down the plastic so the fabric doesn't move. I'm going to need a total of 42 of these strips that are approximately 12, sometimes only 10 inches long. So I'm cutting 14 strips, so I will have extra, and the extra from the strips is going to go with the scraps from this 42 fat quarter bundle, and eventually there will be a final project from the last of the scraps. My plan is pretty simple, and this is an easy quilt to make. I'm going to take some contrasting fabrics, place them on top of each other, and I am going to make one cut at a slight left angle or a slight right angle. And the angles do not have to be measured. They don't have to be the same. I do want them generally in the middle of my 10-inch square, but they wouldn't have to be. With all the cuts made, I'm going to start chain piecing one black strip at a time to some of these cuts that I've made. And I'm going to be choosing the left or the right side consistently, and then when I go back through the stack, I'll add the opposite side. But let's start with showing you a little bit about these angles. On the first piece, I've overlapped the edge by about 1 inch. That gives me plenty of room. Next, I'm going to slide in that second piece, and I'm going to leave about 1 inch or 1.5 inches between these two. If the angle is a little bit sharper, I might leave maybe 1.5 inches between the two pieces to account for when you fold this back on itself. You still want the top and the bottom to be horizontal. And if you don't give yourself enough overlap, depending on the angle, you may not have a straight edge at the top of your 10-inch piece. We're going to skip ahead a little bit here. This is really the easier part, is sewing this first print piece to the black strip. When I break this chain, I am going to make sure I cut, keeping in mind the angle that I'm going to want. And you can see I'm wanting that straight edge to be straight with the top and the bottom of this piece. And these pixie sticks are going to be vertically aligned. So I want to make sure those top and bottom sides do have enough when I make the cut that when I fold the fabric back again, it will line up properly. Once I get all those pieces separated, I am going to go ahead and press that black strip open. Now I'll show you a couple of samples here. What I'm going to be doing is snipping off that top edge so it's mostly straight. That is going to help me with lining up my second piece of print fabric. In this case, the angle is leaning towards the left, so I want the print fabric to overlap the black strip. When I stitch my 1/4 inch seam, I want it to be exactly where the print fabric meets the black fabric. Then when I flip this open, it will be just right. You will see me keep on snipping the excess from the top of the block on that black strip. I'm going to snip that even. Now I wanted to show you the right angle. So when the angle is going toward the right side, that top print fabric needs to be below the top edge. So when I stitch that 1/4 inch seam, they will meet. That seam will be exactly where the print and the black come together. If you want a little more precision, you could use a pin or a clip to hold the two pieces together. Once I got all the blocks put back together, I did go ahead and press those seams open again. As I press the blocks, I am making 4 piles on my left. I cut the angles about 4 at a time, so I thought, well, I will mix up the angles so all the exact angles that are cut exactly the same won't be right next to each other. So as I press these, you're going to see I'm mixing them up over there on the left, and then I will just stack those 4 stacks up together. You can also see here how I like to assembly line press by just leaving my iron sit on the seam while I unfold the next block. In an ideal or perfect situation, all you'd have to do is trim off the black excess overlap, even with the top and the bottom of the block, and you would have your 10-inch block done. I already know, because of that one extra 10-inch square I threw in that wasn't 10-inch squares, I'm going to trim these to 9 3/4. However, you can see that some of the blocks, the left edge and the bottom edge, are at the perfect angle, so I might only need to trim 2 sides of the block. In the case of this green block, one of the edges, the bottom edge, wasn't quite at that angle that I needed, a straight 90-degree angle. So I went ahead and trimmed off all 4 sides to get this block 9 3/4 inches square. The trimming went super fast because for most of the blocks I only had to trim the 2 sides. Then there was an oops moment. I accidentally cut into that square with the rosy colored fabric. When I was trimming a block, I accidentally sliced a little corner of that piece. I had the scrap pile really close by, so I just cut a little rectangle and added that to the corner of the block, and then we're good as new. The direction of the pixie sticks is already mixed up because I did that when I pressed the seams. I'm going to get all the pixie sticks going vertical, and then I'm going to sew pairs together, and I'm going to sew pairs together until I have rows that are 6 blocks across. And with 42 total blocks, that'll give us 7 rows. After I sewed my first pair together, I was able to flip around the tail end of that second set and attached the third set without breaking thread. This doesn't always work, and sometimes the pieces need to be much longer to get it to swing around, but when I can do it, I definitely try to. Once I got to the end, I had my 7 rows complete. I laid them out just on my tabletop here, and I'm going to be clipping on the seam between the blocks so I make sure things stay pretty lined up. I don't recommend this for a beginner, but when I got to the end of the first pair of rows, I went ahead and decided to open that up with the clips attached and add the third and subsequent rows all at once, getting the whole thing clipped together. That can be a mess. The clips can pop off when you're running it through the machine. If you are a newer quilter, go ahead and sew 2 rows together at a time and put them back where you got them. Then put 2 more rows together, put them back where you got them, and then continue assembling your quilt top 1 seam at a time. I actually did have a couple of clips that popped off when I added, I think it was the 5th or the 6th row, so I had to put those back on. So that's just a danger of trying to take shortcuts. The shortcut might end up taking you longer than had you done it the most logical way in the first place. 7 rows equals 6 seams. So I am going to go ahead and stitch my 6 seams to get this quilt top put together. I do have to say the clips I'm using are pretty strong, so even when I shook the quilt to get it re-lined up to sew the next seam, nothing really fell apart at that time. I wanted to give you a nice look at this quilt top in black and white. Once it's been pressed and laid out on the floor, this works real well because none of the fabrics are very dark. If I would have had a dark fabric, I could have done what the Missouri Star sample did, which was use white fabric for some of the pixie sticks. If you're enjoying my channel content, I invite you to comment on this quilt or any other quilt ideas that you have, what kind of content you would like to see on my channel. I do thank you so much for joining me for today's video, and I hope to see you back again real soon.